How's it, everyone? Welcome to another string review right here on OpenCourt. So today we're taking a look at the newest polyester string by Yonex. That string is the Yonex PolyTour Drive. So before we get into this review, I have some exciting news. I collaborated with a company called Direct Tennis, and they partnered with Yonex to give away 3 free sets of this new Yonex PolyTour Drive string. So I'm doing the giveaway for this PolyTour Drive on this channel. It's very simple to enter. First, subscribe to my channel, OpenCourt. Second, just follow Direct Tennis on Instagram. I'll leave the IG link down below in the description. And third, just leave a comment down in this video. Comment your current string of choice. It doesn't have to be Yonex, whatever string you're using right now. And I'll run this giveaway for 7 days after I post this video. Direct Tennis will choose one lucky winner and they will receive 3 free sets of this newest string by Yonex, the PolyTour Drive. So be sure to leave your comments down below, subscribe to OpenCourt, and follow Direct Tennis on IG. Alright, so the Yonex PolyTour Drive, what is this string all about? There isn't actually a whole lot of fancy tech incorporated in this. It doesn't have the silicone oil infusion like the PolyTour Fire and the Rev. It doesn't have any softening agents or special additives. It's a very basic budget string. It is, at the moment, its MSRP is $12, but I've actually found that you can find it for about $8.95 a set on the big online retailers. Under $10, this is by far the cheapest polyester string in the Yonex lineup. That's good news for budget hunters. Apart from that, it's considered a medium firm string, and as you can see on the package here, it is an octagonally shaped string, so it's gonna grip the ball, bite it to provide that excellent spin potential. So since this is a newly released string by Yonex, currently it only comes in 1 gauge, the 125mm, and it comes in 2 colors, the gray and the black. Alright, so I got the Yonex PolyTour Drive strung up in my Yonex V-Core SV98. I got it in the gray color. This is the 125mm. And I got it strung at 52 in the mains and 50 in the cross. That is usually my reference tension that I test all of my strings at. This is a 16x20 string pattern, so hopefully I'll be able to unlock more spin from this slightly tighter string pattern. The SV98 already provides decent grip, so I'm excited to get this string out on the court. Without further ado, let's get into the playtest of the Yonex PolyTour Drive. So what was the Yonex PolyTour Drive like? I played with it for about a couple weeks, and there was one thing that really surprised me, the dwell time and launch angle. I did not expect the PT Drive to have such a long dwell time. At first glance, or rather first hit, I thought the string felt a bit like Solinco Tour Bite because of the crisper response. But after about an hour, the PT Drive got a lot more springy and the trampoline effect really kicked in. I'll talk about this a little later. Let's get into what I liked. I was very pleasantly surprised by the comfort and power. The PT Drive really helps drive the ball through the court. My favorite shots to hit were my flat and slice serves, as well as transition volleys and overheads. For me personally, I like springy strings when I'm approaching the net because I don't have to work that hard if the ball is hit at my feet. All I have to do is block it in front of my body and the ball lands deep and I can approach the net with ease. God forbid if my opponent ever gives me a high first volley, I can pound it straight at the opposing net person. I felt confident approaching the net with the PT Drive because it assisted with power. My slice serve also cleared the net at a higher rate than when I used Tour Bite or any of the stiffer strings with lower launch angles. The slice serve literally flies off the string bed with the drive. I liked using a slice flat hybrid serve to hit penetrating serves that forced weak replies. I found a great deal of success with slice serves into the body on the deuce side and slices down the tee on the ad side. My first serve percentage was higher than usual when I employed the slice serve and took some pressure off my second because I didn't feel the PT Drive was as effective on the kick serves as it was on the slice and flat. Also, the added spring and pop came bundled with a great deal of comfort. This is one of the softest Yonex polys I've ever tried. It definitely feels softer than the PT Rev and Fire. It's maybe around the same comfort level as the PT Pro, although the Pro is a lot more muted and dampened. I've never tried Solinco Tour Bite soft, but I feel like the PT Drive feels similar because the response off the string bed felt similar to original Tour Bite, just a little softer. Maybe anyone who has tried Tubebuddy Soft and Drive can either confirm or deny my hypothesis, but at any rate, I felt the PT Drive was surprisingly soft and comfortable. The spin level on the Drive is also respectable. Polyester strings will generally get ample amounts of spin because of the string sliding and snapping back, but shaped strings take it to the next level. The octagonal profile of the PT Drive grips the ball well and brings the ball down inside the court. I wouldn't say the spin is at the vicious or wicked level, but it's probably one step down. I think biting might be a good way to describe it. I thought the spin level was most noticeable on slice serves and slice ground strokes. Combined with the dwell time, I felt the ball sitting on the string bed as I guided the slices into the corners. I had so much fun slicing and dicing my way around the court, which isn't my usual playstyle. I like to strike fast and advance to the net, but with the PT Drive, I sliced my way to the net quite often. The response was also on the crisper side for a soft poly. When I tried Genesis Black Magic earlier, that string was also soft but felt very muted and dead. I couldn't feel anything when striking the ball with my aggressive swings. I felt no feedback on drop shots or angle and finesse shots either. That was not the case with the PolyTour Drive. I was surprised by how lively this string was. I could play my power game on serve and volley, but also change it up with my finesse game and throw in drop shots, short angles, lobs, and angle volleys. I love strings that allow me to access my full arsenal of shots, and for the most part, the PT Drive allowed me to do that. I wasn't able to feel 100% confident on every shot though, and that leads me into the cons. So the cons list for the Yonex PolyTour Drive isn't that long, but one area that was kind of a deal breaker for me was the slight lack of control. Usually spin and control go hand in hand because the spin brings the ball down inside the court, which allows for aggressive full swings. However, I felt like that wasn't the case with the PT Drive. This string excels in power, comfort, spin, and feel, but when it comes to control, I didn't feel confident going for aggressive baseline strokes. I like to step in and attack returns, and I flung my fair share of returns past the baseline or out wide. Although the lively response and dwell time allowed me to use my serves, volleys, and finesse shots with ease, my baseline rallying game suffered in contrast because I just couldn't control my aggressive swings. Dwell time is good to a certain extent. At some point it has diminishing returns, and I felt the ball pocketing with the Drive was a little too long. At times I felt I was playing tennis with a lacrosse stick and I was flinging the ball all over the place, especially with my forehand. The launch angle was relatively high even in my 16x20 pattern, and I didn't feel fully confident in fast-paced rallies. If the ball was slow and I had time to wind up, I could prepare for the launch I knew was coming, so I didn't have too much trouble on slow approach shots. When I didn't have time to think in fast baseline exchanges, I often hit errant shots that I couldn't control. For advanced players with fast swings, I would recommend the thicker gauge or stringing above 55 pounds to get the necessary control. And lastly, the dwell time affected my kick serve a bit. I felt the strings grabbed the ball a bit too well, and anytime I overexerted on my pronation, I pulled the ball down into the net. I had to focus extra hard on swinging up to clear the net on my kick serve. When I hit it precisely, I could hit some devastating kick serves, especially complemented with my V-Core SV98. But my kick serve percentage suffered, and since that is my main second serve, I double faulted more often than usual. If you can't start the point, you can't win the point, and I dropped more service games than I would have liked. This is often the case with strings that have too much grab. Something like Headlink's Tour has just the right amount of dwell time, which is why that is my favorite poly string, but Genesis Black Magic and this PT Drive grab the ball too much and it becomes erratic and inconsistent. So for me, unfortunately, I had to put my kick serve on the shelf half the time, but other than these two demerits, the string performed admirably. So this new Yonex PolyTour Drive, who is it for? It's for players who are looking for a crisp playing, soft poly. The PT Drive also comes loaded with power and a decent amount of feel for a soft poly. I know a lot of players who are always searching for arm-friendly polys, and I think this PT Drive fits that bill. Also, I don't think this gets mentioned enough, but Yonex strings, even their multi-filaments, are pretty expensive, but the PT Drive is a bargain in comparison. You can probably get it for under $10, which makes this string a great budget poly. It may break a little earlier than some of the stiffer, cheap alternatives, but it doesn't lose too much tension either, so I think most players on a budget will find the Drive to check all the boxes. I'm still waiting for a Yonex poly that I absolutely love without exception, but the PT Drive is a big step in the right direction, and I look forward to the next Yonex PolyTour string whenever that decides to be released in the future. Thanks for watching this review of the Yonex PolyTour Drive right here on OpenCourt. Be sure to follow Direct Tennis on Instagram, subscribe to OpenCourt, and leave your comments down below what your current string of choice is to enter this free giveaway to possibly win 3 free sets of this newest string by Yonex. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on an OpenCourt.